before the movie unfolds, we're presented with brief information about the afterlife. According to Buddhist scriptures, souls are judged 7 times in 49 days for their earthly vices of deceit, indolence, injustice, betrayal, violence, murder, and filial impiety. Only those who pass the trials are allowed to reincarnate. Straight in the first scene, we're thrust into the thick of the action as firefighter Kim Ya-han leaps through a burning window. He cradles a young girl in his arms, desperate to hand her off to his colleague on a safety trolley. Tragedy strikes when the rope severs, sending Kim plummeting with the child still clutched tightly. Miraculously, he absorbs the impact of the fall, shielding the girl from harm. Waking up from the fall, Kim is relieved to see the girl is well and alive. He sighs and is glad to be alive as the fall could potentially have killed both of them. Bewildered, he scans his surroundings and sees 2 figures dressed in black, standing nonchalantly near the falling debris. He goes to warn them but suddenly witnesses a disturbing scene. His lifeless body lies mere feet away, his colleagues frantically attempting to revive him. The 2 figures introduce themselves as guardians of the afterlife, tasked with defending Kim in his upcoming trials. The man announces himself as Deputy Guardian Hee-won and the girl as Assistant Guardian Deok-chun. Their leader and the 3rd Guardian Ganglem is at Kim's funeral home as per the protocol. The bubbly Assistant Guardian Deok-chun informs Kim of his rare and honorable death as a paragon. With a glimmer of hope, she assures him of his reincarnation within 49 days. Overwhelmed by the sight of his own death, Kim desperately begs for a final moment with his mother, but the rules of the afterlife demand his immediate departure. Meanwhile, the 3rd Guardian, Ganglem, enjoys a meal at Kim's funeral home. He observes Kim's brother, fresh from his mandatory military service, urging their mother to attend the casketing ceremony of his deceased brother. Our scene then shifts to the crowded gates of the afterlife, where thousands of souls await their judgment. Hee-won guides Kim before the imposing statue of King Yeomra, the Lord of Afterlife, and introduces him to Ganglem as the guardian who has successfully reincarnated 47 souls in the past century. As they approach the gate, Deok-chun proudly displays Kim's Paragon card, marking the official commencement of his trials. To Hee-won's shock, the gate unexpectedly leads them straight to the hell of murder. He questions Kim, but the firefighter adamantly denies ever harming anyone. Ganglem explains that King Yeomra determines the order of the trials, proceeding from the lightest to the heaviest, and even indirect harm can trigger a trial. As they prepare to defend Kim, Deok-chun scans the list of charges against him using her unique ability. Suddenly, the ground around Kim cracks open, revealing the terrifying volcano of death. Screams pierce the air as unfortunate souls, drenched in molten lava, struggle to climb its treacherous slopes. Kim stands accused of indirectly causing the death of a colleague who perished during a fire in front of the god of murder. 2 prosecutors claim Kim prioritized his own safety over his colleagues, despite having ample time to rescue him. They demand a harsh sentence of 5 years in the fiery depths of the volcano. Undeterred, Ganglem steps forward to defend Kim. He unveils vivid memories of that fateful day on the Mirror of Karma, showcasing Kim's valiant efforts to save his colleague. However, the colleague, understanding the dire situation, urged Kim to prioritize the lives of civilians trapped in the burning building. With a heavy heart, Kim followed his colleague's wishes and rescued 8 innocent lives. But tragically, he was unable to reach his friend before the building collapsed. The judge, faced with the impossible task of judging the value of one life against another, ultimately acquits Kim, recognizing that Kim saved 8 lives that day. With the hell of murder behind them, the 3 guardians embark on a boat journey to the hell of indolence, where Kim will be judged on whether he lived his life to its true potential, or he wasted his time lazing around. Confident of an easy trial, Ganglem cautions Kim about the prosecutor's ambition to secure their own promotion through his conviction. Kim, curious about the Guardians' motives, inquires about their purpose. Deok-chun reveals their pact with King Yeomra. Successful reincarnation of 49 souls within a century unlocks their own reincarnation. As their boat glides forward, Ganglem delivers one final warning. Do not talk back to the goddess of indolence. The trial unfolds, and Deok-chun skillfully showcases Kim's dedication, highlighting his tireless efforts to save both humans and animals. Impressed by his deeds, the benevolent goddess, embodied as a wise grandmother, swiftly acquits Kim. However, her subsequent question about his motivation for working sparks a misunderstanding. Kim's innocent reply about earning money is misinterpreted by the goddess as worshipping the god of money. Facing imminent punishment for his perceived devotion to the wrong deity, Kim floats towards a chilling waterfall, where countless souls suffer in terror. Just as his fate seems sealed, Ganglem intervenes. Through vivid memories showcased on the Mirror of Karma, he reveals the truth. Kim's multiple jobs, beyond his firefighting duties, were driven by money to support his sick mother and his brother's law school education. Recognizing Kim's genuine desire to use his hard work for noble purposes, the goddess reverses her decision and grants him acquittal, leaving the hell of indolence behind. The guardians lead Kim to the treacherous Blade Forest, where the trial of deceit awaits. He-1 reveals that if Kim simply follows Ganglim's orders, he may get the chance to visit his mother in a dream before he is reincarnated. Hearing this, a visibly emotional Kim becomes more focused on the tasks at hand. As they navigate the Blade Forest on a speeding boat, something weird begins to happen to Afterlife. The atmosphere darkens, time accelerates, and without warning, monstrous creatures launch a surprise attack. The Guardians bravely fend off the assault, revealing that such disturbances happen when a living member of a soul dies with a grudge and becomes a vengeful spirit. A worried Kim fears his mother's possible demise. The Akchun blindfolds Kim in preparation for his trial, while He-1 delivers a grim warning. The vengeful spirit's havoc threatens to derail Kim's progress, jeopardizing his chance to reach the final trial within the 49-day deadline. To prevent this, Ganglim makes a daring decision. He will return to the living world and investigate the source of the vengeful spirit's anger. In the realm of the living, Ganglim encounters Kim's brother, Su-hong. Consumed by resentment, Su-hong harbors a deep grudge, further fueled by his mother's grief and her continued care for his deceased brother's possessions. This anger festers within him, ultimately transforming him into a vengeful spirit. Ganglim desperately chases after Su-hong, but the enraged spirit easily outruns him. Back in the Blade Forest, a restless Kim seizes an opportunity when He-1 isn't looking. He removes his blindfold and pleads with the Akchun for news of his mother. The Akchun, deep in a trance as she scans potential charges against him, is abruptly awakened by the approach of menacing hell ghouls. Their presence is a direct consequence of Kim's disobedience. Fortunately, they are saved by the unexpected arrival of King Yomer himself. Though relieved, they receive a stern message for Ganglim. The vengeful spirit must be neutralized quickly. King Yomer demands the dead body be burned and the spirit banished, or he will personally descend and handle the matter himself. As the next trial begins, the goddess of deceit appears in the form of a young girl gleefully enjoying a colorful candy. The accusations are harsh. Kim stands charged with crafting 98 false letters to families of accident victims. Among them is Jae-yeon, the young daughter of Kim's deceased colleague, trapped under rubble during a fire. The prosecutors highlight the emotional pain inflicted upon Jae-yeon, who clung to hope for her father despite knowing the truth. Stunned into silence, Kim faces the threat of having his tongue severed by the angry goddess. Just in time, Ganglim establishes a mental connection with Deok-chun, allowing him to defend Kim. Through Deok-chun, Ganglim admits Kim's deception. The numerous fabricated letters written to various individuals, including his own mother. While these letters created a false reality of a happy, married life for himself, they also served a purpose. His mother, fueled by hope, found the strength to overcome her illness and make a full recovery. Likewise, the letters offered Jae-yeon, fatherless and grieving, a spark of hope that allowed her to continue her studies. Recognizing that the benefits of Kim's lies outweighed the harm, the goddess of deceit acquits him. As they leave the Blade Forest, Kim expresses his yearning to see his mother, revealing his heartfelt purchase, an electric rice cooker to assist her with dementia. Deok-chun then confirms her knowledge of a hidden letter tucked within the rice cooker, a message from Kim to his mother. Back in the world of the living, Ganglim assumes the role of a lieutenant colonel to investigate Su-hong's death at the military base. He grills Lieutenant Park, who reveals Su-hong as a capable officer admired by his men. However, Ganglim suspects a hidden truth beneath Park's words. Digging deeper, Ganglim uncovers a fateful night when Su-hong and Dong-yeon stood guard together. Fearful of upcoming discharge, Dong-yeon was worried about facing his bullies without Su-hong's protection. Su-hong reassured him, promising to check on him and ensure Lieutenant Park's support. In a moment of anxiousness, Dong-yeon accidentally shot Su-hong. But Su-hong, still alive, pleaded with Dong-yeon to call Lieutenant Park. Terrified of losing his promotion, Park opted for a cover-up, burying Su-hong with Dong-yeon's assistance. Unbeknownst to both, Su-hong was still alive in that moment, and their actions sealed Su-hong's fate. Ganglim realizes that Su-hong harbors resentment towards Dong-yeon and Park, not his brother. He retrieves the buried body, prioritizing a proper burial over incineration, a decision that displeases He-1. In the afterlife, Kim bypasses trials in the hells of injustice and betrayal due to his noble character. However, the afterlife world continues to suffer under the influence of his brother's vengeful spirit. Meanwhile, Ganglim tracks down a drunken Dong-yeon at a club. He witnesses Su-hong's spirit attempting to kill him using a disco light. Ganglim intervenes and manages to capture the spirit. He explains how Soo-han's actions are jeopardizing his brother's trials, but receives a shocking revelation. Soo-han harbors hatred towards his brother, never having met him after Kim ran away from home 15 years ago. Later, a drunk Dong-yeon returns to where Soo-han's mother lives and throws in a map leading to the buried body. Both the spirit and his mother watch in disbelief as the map unfolds its secrets. Driven to despair, Dong-yeon attempts suicide by hanging himself. Witnessing this tragic scene, Gang Lim is approached by Soo-hong's spirit, who begs him to save Dong-yeon's life. In exchange, Soo-hong promises complete obedience, despite the potential consequences of meddling in the affairs of the living world. Gang Lim reluctantly agrees to intervene. Assuming a tangible form, Gang Lim appears before Dong-yeon, using words channeled from Soo-hong. He offers forgiveness and encourages Dong-yeon to never ever waste new tears on past mistakes, a phrase that Soo-hong had told Dong-yeon before. A sense of relief washes over Soo-hong, allowing him to accompany Gang Lim in retrieving his body for proper burial and passage to the afterlife. However, the repercussions of Gang Lim's interference become evident in the hell of violence. Instead of the expected shallow descent, Kim faces a tumultuous and lengthy fall. They finally reach before the King of Violence, where the prosecutors unveil shocking accusations. They portray Kim as a brutal high school bully, relentlessly tormenting his malnourished younger brother, Soo-hong. The king acknowledges Kim's failure to apologize or reconcile with his family, further noting the connection between this case and Kim's final trial. Unmoved by pleas, the god of violence readily sentences Kim to immediate punishment, much to the prosecutor's delight. With options dwindling, Hee-won desperately contacts Gang Lim, who is at the burial site. In a desperate attempt to save Kim's life, Gang Lim suggests a combined trial. This risky maneuver will merge the current trial of violence with the trial of filial impiety. If Kim loses, he faces a doubled sentence, and even the guardians risk losing their privileges in the afterlife. As they journey through the vast desert towards the hell of filial impiety, Deok-chun delves into a trance, scanning the charges against Kim. To her horror, she uncovers a chilling truth. On the night of his escape, Kim attempted to murder his own mother by suffocating her with a pillow. His shocking confession reveals a desperate plan to end his own life, his brother's, and their mother's due to their crushing poverty, and his mother's illness. He admits to attempting to suffocate his mother before overdosing himself and his brother, but his attempt was thwarted by his younger brother, Soo-hong. This confrontation explains the god of violence's earlier observation connecting the two cases. Back in the world of the living, Soo-hong, now free from his vengeful spirit, seeks refuge in his physical body. Before departing for the afterlife, Gang Lim instructs him to visit the army base. There, they witness his mother desperately searching for his body, holding a placard pleading for help. Fearing the potential threat this poses to his promotion, Lieutenant Park ruthlessly pushes the old woman, forcing her into an ambulance. Witnessing this act of cruelty reignites Soo-hong's vengeful spirit, unleashing a devastating tornado that engulfs the entire base, consuming everything and everyone in its path, including Lieutenant Park. The repercussions of this violent act ripple into the afterlife as sand monsters attack Deok-chun, He and Kim. Recognizing the danger Gang Lim faces, Hee-won opens a portal, transporting himself to the mortal realm where he confronts the now immensely powerful spirit fueled by the anger of witnessing his mother's assault. However, a fleeting moment of hesitation arises when Soo-hong sees Kim struggling for his life in the afterlife, buried under sand. Seizing this opportunity, Gang Lim binds Soo-hong, reverting him to his human form and bringing the destructive tornado to a halt. The moment the tornado subsides, a vast hall materializes around the desert in the afterlife. It is the imposing hell of filial impiety, with King Yomra himself presiding over the final trial. With a stern demeanor, King Yomra accuses Kim of attempting to murder his mother and brutally assaulting his younger brother, who is suffering from malnutrition. Without granting him the right to defend himself, King Yomra declares Kim guilty and sentences him to a lifetime of torment in hell. However, Deok-chun defies protocol. She emotionally appeals to King Yomra, revealing that Kim's mother was asleep and unaware of his intentions. She emphasizes that Kim, despite fleeing the scene, lived a life of hardship and sacrifice, striving to provide for his brother and mother. In a shocking turn, King Yomra uses the mirror of karma to reveal a heartbreaking truth. Kim's mother feigns sleep, silently witnessing his actions and bearing the pain in her heart. The revelation crushes Kim, who falls to his knees, pleading for punishment in exchange of one last chance to see his mother. As the prosecutors pronounce the harsh verdict for Kim's crimes of filial impiety and violence, the afterlife trembles with seismic disturbances, hinting at someone meddling in the world of the living. In an unexpected move, Gang Lim grants Su Hong the ability to enter his mother's dream, defying King Yomra's authority. In the dream realm, Su Hong reveals to his mother his success as a respected judge and shares how Kim sacrificed his life to provide for them. In a miraculous event, Kim's mother speaks for the first time, absolving both her sons of any wrongdoing. She expresses regret for not being a better mother and embraces Su Hong in forgiveness. This act of forgiveness in the world of the living alters the course of the afterlife trial. King Yomra declares Kim acquitted, acknowledging that a sin forgiven in the living realm cannot be judged in the afterlife. Liberated from his charges, Kim embarks on his reincarnation. The ever-benevolent Gang Lim delivers the electric rice cooker with Kim's letter, a final gift to his mother. As the movie reaches its final scene, Gang Lim realizes the truth. When he was rescuing Su Hong from his vengeful spirit in the living world, King Yomra had been continuously testing him disguised as he one, tempting him with alternative choices. Now, alongside Su Hong, another paragon soul, the three guardians head on a journey to confront King Yomra, ready for the next chapter in their afterlife.